So today, all you're going to need is a ball of some kind. So if you got a ball, should be a little bit flexible and like a tennis ball, any sort of tennis ball will do. We're going to put it on the floor right there. And then just stand with your feet parallel to one another, arms down by your sides. Let's close our eyes. And just take a few deep breaths. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, so we're gonna take the ball. You can just pick whichever foot you'd like. And we're just gonna take the ball and just start rubbing the whole foot. Just nice and light, kind of waking up one of your feet. I'm going to get specific here in just a few moments, but just waking it up a little. Nice. And then we're going to take the ball and place it under the ball of your foot. So right under that spot, just below the toes. So we're just going to press the foot down in that area. So think about the bones inside the feet spreading as you press the ball of your foot into that area. Good. And I like to go to the lower edge of the ball of the foot because it helps spread the toes a little bit more. Good. And then let's go into the toes. So we're just going to kind of grip the ball with your toes. So we're just gripping it a little. Maybe try to pick it up, even though you probably won't. Okay. And then we're going to take the ball to the arch of your foot. So this area right here inside the arch of the foot here, we're just going to rub that out. So you could rub it back and forth. That might feel good. You might have something interesting there that you can press the ball down into, just to kind of get any knots out or whatever. And I like to also get right below the ball of the foot. There's usually something maybe there. And right above that heel pad. And then places in between. Good. And then we're going to do the blade. So the outside edge of your foot. Just maybe rub the ball up and down that outside edge of your foot. Maybe even doing a little bit of pressure. Good. Nice. And then we're going to do the heel. So just put that ball right under the heel and just press down. So I like to start with the center. And then go to the outside edge of my heel. And the inside. And then maybe the back, lifting the toes. And then maybe hitting all of those points again. Inside, outside, back. Good. And then let's do the ball anywhere that you felt like maybe needed a little extra attention. Maybe it was in the arch of your foot or the ball of your foot. Just maybe get to go back and hit it again. The arch of the foot is always a good place, or maybe even just generally rolling that ball around your foot again. Grand finale. And we'll just set the ball in front. Good. Shake it out. Shake it out. Nice. Feet are parallel to one another again. And then we're just going to close our eyes for a moment. Just feel the difference between the one foot that we rubbed out and the one foot that we didn't. So you can kind of feel the difference in what that ball does for your feet. And just see if you can make sure the weight feels even though it might feel really different on one foot and then the other. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. So let's do the other side. We're going to take that ball and just generally rub the whole foot again. Wake it up. Oop. And if the ball runs away, that's just cardio. We're adding a little cardio in, free cardio. Good. And we're going to go under the ball of the foot. Just pressing down, spreading those toes. Spreading the bones inside your foot. So you don't see them, but you do know they're there. We want to make that space wider so that your feet don't constantly feel the pressure of your shoes. We're making them, stretching them from the inside. And then we're going to take the ball and just grip it with your toes, trying to pick it up. Spread the toes around the ball. Good. Yeah, I think I can almost pick it up and I just can't. Good. And then we're going to do the arch of your foot. Let's go into that arch and just rub it out so you can rub it back and forth. And if it's too much, if it's a lot, just be light and just rub it back and forth. That helps release the muscle or that fascia, really fascia under there. But you could, if you can, put some pressure and do that too. And the ball has some give, which is good because you do want the ball not to be so hard. You don't want to push too hard with a hard ball. Good. And then we're going to do the blade of the foot, that outside edge. Maybe rub it up and down the outside edge or just press, step into it. Good. Nice. And then we're going to do the heel. So we're going to put it under the heel right in the center, step down. And then do the outside edge and the inside edge and the back. And then maybe go around to it again. Inside, outside, back, center. Good. And then just like the other side, you're just going to find your most interesting spot. Maybe it was in the arch of your foot or the ball or your heel. Maybe your heel is what really needs the attention. Just give it a little extra love. Good. One more, just a little extra love. Good. So we're going to set the ball just to the side for a moment. We're going to use it in a little bit. We're going to just come to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So now we can feel both feet pressing down into the mat. Feet are parallel, grounding through the 4 points of the bottom of your feet. So remember, the 4 points are the either side of your heel, either side of the ball of your foot. And you're just pressing all 4 points down into the mat. And feel your arches engage as you press them all down. So they start to really fire. And sometimes it takes a little practice to feel it. But you just play around. Good. Now lift all the toes. Spread them wide. Set them all down one at a time. Good. Let's do that again. Lift all the toes. Spread them wide. Set them all down. Good. One more time. Lift them up. Now this time, if you put them down pinky toe first, let's try to put them down big toe first. Not as easy. Good. Setting them all down. Nice. So let's do 3 times. Lift the big toe. Set it down. Lift the little toes. Set them down. Lift the big toe. Down. Little toes lift. Set them down. One more time. Big toes lift. Set them down. Little toes lift. Set them down. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let's fold it forward. Good. Knees are bent. We're going to flatten the hands. Step back. Let's find down dog. So down dog here. Pedal the heels. I'm going to start stretching through the legs a little bit. A lot of times foot problems are connected to tight calves. We're definitely going to get into our calves today a little bit. We're just pedaling these heels now, and then find center and stillness, and then sink both heels down to the floor. Now the heels might not touch, but you're sinking them down as close to the floor as you can. And as long as you're feeling it, that's all that matters, right? Good. Look in between the knees or the thighs. Sink the heels down a millimeter more. Good. Lower down onto the knees. Let's untuck those toes. Find child's pose for a moment. Resting. Good. So we're going to come up to table. Curl the toes under for this nice stretch. So we're just curling the toes under, And this might be where you stay. You might just stay here with toes curled under, but if you want a little bit more, you might bring your hips back. So that gives a little more pressure, stretching the bottoms of your feet a little bit more. But don't go too much. A little stretch is fine. Now, if that feels pretty easy, you might sit onto your heels. Good. Breathe. Do the pose that works for you and your feet. Breathe. Let's do 2 more breaths right here. Good. And then we're going to come forward, uncurl the toes. Let's just kick it out. Okay, so let's do one more little calf stretch. We're just going to be in tabletop, center the left knee, right leg kicks straight behind you. We're going to set the toes on the floor and then press the heel back. And you're going to just use your hands to kind of give yourself a little bit of leverage so that you can stretch into your calf muscle. Breathe. Good. And then release. Let's lower the right knee down, left leg kicks behind you, setting the left toes down. Press that left heel back, pressing into the hands. Nice stretch. Good. And release. Nice. We're just going to cross into the legs, come to seated. I'm going to use the ball one more time. So a lot of times the tightness that you feel, especially if you feel it in your heels or even the arches of your feet, you might have tight calves. So we're going to hit those a little bit. So we're going to take the ball to the meaty part of your calf, just right in the center. And you just lay it right on there. And at first you might not notice a whole lot, but we can roll the foot out and in, out and in. And then if it feels really super easy for you, you can take your other foot as a little extra weight just to get a little bit deeper. The other thing you can do is point and flex the foot as you move that calf around. So if you have really sore calves, you probably won't move your foot a whole lot. But if you have really open calves, you might be able to move the foot around a little more. And if you find something that really is a little bit sore, you can leave the ball there and just hang out. Maybe move your foot or just hang out. Good. So when you're doing the calves, there's 3 muscles down the back of your calves. There's the inner, the outer, and the center. So when you turn the foot out, you might have that ball on that outer muscle. When you have the foot pointing straight up, you're in that middle muscle. And when you turn the foot in, you're on that inner muscle. So you're just finding the spots that could use a little bit of extra attention. Good. And then let's switch sides. So we're going to go ahead and put it under the meaty part of the other calf, right in the center, and then just rolling the foot. And you might notice one side's a little bit more interesting than the other. Good. And then you might find a spot that's really interesting. Add a little weight from your other foot. This is why I like to have tennis balls around for all kinds of things like this. We're going to be doing more of this, different spots, different parts of the body. We can use this tennis ball and really make some real good changes and opening up the muscles in a new way. Breathe. Good. And then we're going to just take the ball and set it aside. Good job. And we're going to come onto our back. So the bottoms of the feet are on the mat, hands come to the belly. Let's close your eyes and just feel your calf muscles, your feet pressing down. Good. Let's pull that right knee in toward the chest. We're going to take the hands right behind the knee and straighten into the leg. Good. And then rotate the ankle. One direction, then the other direction. Point and flex. Point and flex. Good. Now we're going to flex the foot, and then you're going to press the outside edge of your foot to the ceiling and then the inside edge. Outside edge, inside edge. One more time. Outside edge, inside edge. Good. Now we're just going to keep that foot flexed and then work the leg a little bit straighter, but pull the leg a little bit towards you. So we're stretching all the way down the back of the leg. If you can reach your toes, grab your toes. If you can't, grab the back of your leg anywhere that works. Really pull the toes toward you. It's only temporary. Good. Now we're going to just keep that hip planted and bring your leg over to the left just a little bit, just to stretch that outer side. All the spots that tug on your heel. Tight legs can a lot of times mean tight feet. Good. Coming back to center, bend the knee. Let's hug that left knee in. Hands behind the knee, straighten the leg. Good. We're going to rotate that ankle. One direction and then the other. Good. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex and hold. And then we're going to press that outside edge up and then the inside edge. Outside edge, inside edge. Good. One more time. Outside, inside. Keep the foot flexed, straightening that leg as much as you can, grabbing on anywhere behind the leg. Maybe grab the toes. Keep that foot flexed, stretching into the back of the leg. Good. Keeping that left hip planted, leg goes over to the right just a little bit. Breathe. Good. Back to center. Bend the knee. Very nice. Hands back to the belly. Good. So we're going to heel toe the feet together. So the bottoms of the feet are going to be touching and the knees relax out to the sides. And see how much you can relax the inner thighs. Relax the belly. And just feel all the contact that your feet have with one another. So your heels touching. Are the blades of your feet touching? Are the balls of your feet? Can you match up your toes? So they're really connected. And instead of grounding down into the earth, you're grounding into the feet. And then press the blades of the feet down a little bit, not harsh, just a little bit down while you soften your inner thighs. Now, if you like, you can stay here and just keep letting the inner thighs soften and relax open, or you could straighten into your legs so you can really feel restful if you want to. Bring arms down by your sides. If your knees are straight, bend into the knees. And if your knees are apart, slowly start to bring the knees together. We're going to roll onto one side of our body and just take a moment here. Pressing up to a seated position. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Namaste.